What's good, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good day. And welcome to episode 2 of Fresh Philly Kicks. We got a lot of things to talk about. So, that being said, let's get into it. A lot of things are going around in the sneaker world. A lot of like ridiculous things. To start it off, shout out to Sneak City. That's a store in Seattle, and recently they purchased a pair of Red Octobers, right? To find out it was stolen. So it's basically two relatives, two cousins. One cousin stole it from the other cousin, and that the cousin that stole the Red Octobers basically went to the store and sold it to Sneak City. And, hands down, that's fucked up. The cousin, who's the victim, basically found out, went to Sneak City, asked for the shoes back. All right. They canceled the money, so of course the cousin that stole it didn't receive the money. But Sneak City, once a police report, has to be done by the books, and by all means that protects them from any what do you want to call it, affiliation or accusing, you know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, Sneak City did the right thing. Now, that being said, that cousin is fucked up for stealing his cousin's shoes. Like, yo, that's your blood. You know what I mean? That's your relative. And for you to do something like that, either you were really in a hole or you just a fucked up individual. I hope those two cousins can hash it out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's family. It is what it is with them. But back to Sneak City, what they did, it's very commendable. Like, they want to make sure, they made sure that, the shoes was his. Like, he came in, verified it and everything. So just to protect them from, like I said, from any accusations or affiliation, they did the right thing. Damn. Because to be honest, I don't know if I had like one of my closest homies or a relative come into my house and taking my shit, like I would be pissed as fuck. You know what I mean? I'll be so mad. I'll be livid. You know what I mean? Thank God, my closest friends, my inner circle, they're nowhere near that. Straightforward people, straightforward individuals. So that's the plus. That reminds me, a situation I had back in the day when I first started. They didn't steal from me, but at that time I considered him a good friend, and he scammed me. So it was I remember it was either after the Concord 11's release or before the Concord's release, and I was a young student in college. I didn't have morning classes, thank God. So I had to meet up this friend of mine who had a pair of Red 11's for sale. Playoff 12s. Playoff 12s. I'm so sorry. Playoff 11s. I'm so sorry. I'm tired as hell right now. And he sold it to me for $200. He's a legit person. I thought he was legit at least. And I wake up rushing out the house. Thank God he went to school like literally a block and a half away from my mom's house. So I pick him up. We exchange, and I go back home, I go to sleep. My class isn't until like 1 or 2 o'clock, maybe even 3. Wake up happy as hell. I don't even check the shoes yet. I go to the bathroom, I shower, get ready for class. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna rock these today because I know no one really has them. I open the box, and mind you, this is the first time me even like looking at them, like literally actually looking at them. And then I'm like, yo, something's off, you know what I mean? And back then, fakes were like, you can really tell if a shoe is fake, you know what I mean? It's like right in plain sight. You see it like just shining of fakeness, you know what I mean? I'm like, wait, these don't sound right. These don't look right. I call up my boy Richard. I explained to him what's going on. Like, yeah, those don't seem right, you know. And mind you, he still is in school. I'm in college. My friend is still like a senior in high school, whatever. Yo, I blew up his phone. I told him to meet me outside. We exchanged, and like, you know, after class and stuff, we talked, and I explained like, yo, you sold me some fakes. And he was like defending himself. I'm like, all right, if it was a mistake, it's a mistake. I let it go. You know what I mean? It's a mistake. Everyone is still young. Everyone is still learning the game. Find out months later, all his friends tell me like, yo, he's been selling fakes for the longest. He wears nothing but fakes, and you know, thank God you didn't get got. I was like, and y'all cool with that? He's like, look, we're his friends at the end of the day, but we know what he does. I'm like, dude, that's messed up. You know, since then, I haven't seen him since. Like, I see him from time to time, but I haven't seen much of him. So it is what it is to this day. Now this is another situation. So if you watch the first episode, I don't know if I talked about it, but I used to run a Facebook forum, buy/sell Fresh Philly Kicks. And there was this dude on there, you know, I thought he was a legit dude, you know what I mean? You know, we got to chill. He invited me over a couple of times. We ate lunch, dinner at his crib, whatever. You know, we sat down, talked about shoes, this, and the third. He was a true meaning of hype beast. Like, at the time, he got all like the old retros, all like Kanye shoes from Yeezys to LVs, you know, just stunting hard on everybody, you know what I mean? And I always thought like, all right, this kid either got mad money, like mommy daddy money, or he works a really good job, and you know, he pay his way, you know what I mean? So to keep a long story short, from there, I found out like a couple months knowing this dude, he was scamming people. You know what I mean? He was scamming people from different forums, and they ended up scamming someone that I knew, not personally, but I knew. He comes to me like asking me like, yo, can you help me? Mind you, the scammer doesn't know that I know yet. So that being said, I'm like, yo, let's link up real quick, yo. Like, I haven't seen you. Let's go window shop for some shoes or whatever. You know what I mean? We link up, and I approach him. I bring up the topic. He's denying everything. You know what I mean? But then I showed him the receipts that the young kid shows me. I'm like, yo, you can't be doing this on my forum. You know what I mean? Like, if you doing this, like, I don't want to fuck with you. You know? And then he gets all defensive, and like, we literally arguing in Center City, you know what I mean, in like broad daylight, and everyone's literally looking at us all crazy and like, yo, what the hell are these two young kids doing? Because at the end of the day, like, yo, you fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, yo, give the kid the money back and give him his shoes back or whatever you did. You know, and long story short, like, I stopped kicking it with the dude, and like, I haven't seen him since, but like, I think because of that situation, like, it really got bad to where he had to move, you know what I mean? Because like, everyone was like staring at him like dirty and all that shit. I guess for his safety, which makes sense. You know what I mean? And by all means, like, dude, you shouldn't be scamming motherfuckers like that, you know? What else is going on? Like from last week and going on this week. Kanye is being Kanye. You know, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but he's showing like his Kanye West side, getting trigger happy, talking about how Adidas went behind his back with naming these shoes, re-releasing these shoes, basically doing Yeezy Day without his consent, you know. And to be honest, I understand your frustration, Kanye, I do. But at the end of the day, you work for Adidas, you know what I mean? Without Adidas, you wouldn't be able to produce any of your shoes. You would not have the power, the material, the funds, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Adidas really does own the shoe. Like, it's like, I don't know how it is on paper for them, but from a consumer standpoint, from an outside standpoint, like at the end of the day, Yeezy is under Adidas. Like, it's not Adidas under, it's not Adidas under Yeezys. It's Yeezys under Adidas. But like I said, I understand your frustration, man. I do. But dude, you mass produce so many shoes throughout the years since you joined Adidas, and like, yo, you said you wanted to produce it to the point where everybody was able to get a pair. You did. Everyone, majority of them got a pair, because resellers, you know, be grabbing everything, even if it's sit on shelves. They gonna hold it. They gonna wait a couple years and flip it to make that extra $1.50, maybe even $2. You know what I mean? Since on the topic of Kanye literally made a foam helmet. I seen it. It looks just like a foam runner, but a mask or helmet or whatever. And let me tell you, that's a dope concept, right? But it's like all these resellers are going to keep touching it, and like people who actually like them are not going to be able to get them unless they pay that market price, that resale price. So it's like now, how can a normal consumer like, you know, me and anyone out there that's listening really get a shoe? You know, you gotta fight bots. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta fight bots. So you can't beat the bots, because every freaking day there's a new algorithm with how they work the software and everything, all that bullshit. Granted, to be honest, I don't know anything about bots, like, as a user, because like I never use bots, you know what I mean? Like that's why I said as a user. But I know people who use bots, and they pay a monthly fee or a release fee, where, for example, if they get 50 tries, hypothetically speaking, just say 50 tries, and they win 10 out of those 50, they have to pay, like, they get taxed on top. So technically every win you have to pay like $30 to $40 on top. So let's say 40, you know, that's $400 you got to cough up on top of what you pay for retail when it comes to those shoes. You know what I mean? I didn't know that at first, you know. I thought it was like, you know, one-time purchase and you use the bot software to try to win your shoes or whatever on release day. Nah. These software creators getting fans like, yo, if y'all gonna make money, we gonna make money too. And that's fair, you know what I mean? I ain't hating on that. But I am hating the fact that I'm tired of losing on release day, you know what I mean? But if anyone hasn't been paying attention to the market, reselling is plopping. Like, it's dropping so hard right now. And as a consumer like me, that's a good thing. Because now you have a chance to go to the stores and like Foot Locker, Snipes, Jimmy Jazz, Champs, whatever, you know, and you get to purchase a shoe that's sitting on shelves. The fact that you get to go outside now and actually like walk around and actually find a shoe that you want, that's good. You know what I mean? Granted, some of these colorways ain't that nice. There's no hype behind it, so not a lot of people want them, which is good. So it gives time for those who want them to save up some money, because not everyone could cough out 160, 200, or whatever every single release day. That being said, it gives everyone opportunity, a fair chance to purchase what they want. You know what I mean? And like, for me, I'm excited. I'm happy that the reselling market is actually plummeting, because I get to save money at the end of the day. Granted, most of my shoes, I do my best to get it for a low price and cheap price. I don't really pay for a fair price, because at the end of the day, I need to save money. I want to save. It's just instilled in me. That being said, that's how I do it. You know what I mean? Chicago ones, they got pushed back. There's no confirm yet, but that's the rumor. You know what I mean? It could be true. It could be false. I have a feeling, probably because production problems. It is what it is. You know what I mean? If I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. Not really pressed. But next year in 2023, there is rumor that Thunder 4s are re-releasing, and let me tell you that I want a pair so bad, because I do have the pair, the second release pair, but I got it in size 9 because I didn't want to crease them, so I got a half size smaller so I don't crease them. And let me tell you something, it was, back then it was worth it, but now as a older individual, let me tell you, man, it's not worth it, bro. That shit hurts my fucking feet so bad. Not gonna lie, like, I wobble like a goddamn penguin. Like, oh my god, I wore them like maybe a couple months ago, and like, dude, I was in pain just driving in them. I was like, oh my god, like, imagine walking. I start walking. Oh, dude, that I was crying so bad inside. And like, the funny thing is, my wife noticed it, and she was like, why are you walking so uncomfortable? Because like, it's been years, like, since I ever wore any of my shoes that are size 9, and because most of my shoes are not 9.5, so like, all my 9s are like, you know, when I first started, because I didn't want to crease anything. You know what I mean? I wanted to keep everything in pristine condition. And yeah, like, I'm definitely going to re-up on those. I hope they really do drop. You know what I mean? Because then all these rumors, like, every year there's a rumor this with like Undefeated 4 supposedly coming out, and like, it gets me every single time, because like, yo, I will cop a pair hands down. Like, I don't care. Like, I need a pair. I will pay resale if it's in, like, you know, reaching affordable price. Because, you know, I'm not no rapper. I'm not no sneaker enthusiast like that. Like, yo, I mean sneaker influencer. I am a sneaker enthusiast. I love shoes and all, but at the end of the day, I prioritize my family and my bills before I prioritize my shoes. Like, it's a hobby. I'm not crackhead. You know what I mean? I like I said, I prioritize my family and my shoes, my family and my bills before I prioritize my shoes. And yeah, like, I really hope they re-release, because I do want a pair. What else? Like, yeah, like, with today's like sneaker game, with like how everything is so social media like run. It's crazy because back then, you know, you had to go on like Sneaker News, Complex, Nike Talk, like, you know, forums and sneaker websites to even read and to get to know like what is releasing, what's about to come out, what new shoe is it's releasing soon. Now it's like you just go on IG and like any sneaker media you follow, poof, like 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. You know what I mean? So I saw how like basically information when it comes to sneaker culture is so easily accessed compared to how it was 10 years ago, you know, or even 20 years ago, because 20 years ago you had to go through magazines, you know, like East Bay, you know, East Bay, Sneaker News magazine, like Sneaker Freaker, you know what I mean? I had so many books from Sneaker Freaker, and dude, let me tell you, like it was a collectible, you know what I mean? It was I'm not gonna even lie, like it's not like I bought them every single time they came out because I didn't have the money for it back then, but I got them in college when this girl I was dating, her coworker used to be like a sneaker enthusiast or sneakerhead or whatever, and she found out I was in sneakers, so she gave me all her books. And there's one book I still got, and let me see, it's actually right here, ironically, and it has what volume is this? Dude, I don't even know. Issues 1 to 6, you know what I mean? Sneaker Freaker, the book, 02 to 05, and it has a pair of Air Max 180s on it, you know what I mean? And dude, when I first opened this book, let me tell you, I was astounded. Like I realized this book showed me there's more to sneaker culture than just Nike. At the time, like, you know, Nike SB and Jordans, there's more to it, like K-Swiss to even Adidas and how New Balance was. Like back then I thought New Balance was just a simple goddamn like dad shoe or like a gym shoe like kids wore, you know what I mean? But in reality, it's more than just Nike. Now in today's world, you know what I mean, there's so many shoes, like I said, there's Nike, Jordans, Adidas, Puma, New Balance is starting to get like to like the hype. It's up there with, or at least trailing behind, Adidas and Nike, you know what I mean? You even got like third party sellers, like I wouldn't call them third party, but I feel like their quality is third party, you know what I mean? Like Mischief, like yo, Mischief just came out with those Jawbreakers. Like they look like Vans, you know, Chuck Vans or whatever you want to call it, excuse me. And like, you know, if you break it down, you know, there's layers of colors. That's a dope concept, bro. Like, yo, shout out to them. That's a dope concept. But to me personally, I feel like that shoe, the material, it's not worth $200. Like, I feel like that's like $100 shoe. But them being a small company, of course they have to make their money or whatever. But it is what it is. I wouldn't buy a pair, but it, like, if someone ever gifted me it, then I'll probably most like, cause you know, it's a gift, I'm gonna keep those. You know what I mean? But yeah, like today's sneaker culture, it's crazy. At the end of the day, it's a lot of things going on. Every week there's a new thing, you know. So that's basically it for today's episode. To those who are listening, like, I'm gonna try to release a podcast every week, like I said previously in like my first episode. I still don't know what days to release. I'm thinking like maybe started to drop every Sunday or Monday, but today's Wednesday, so I gotta drop it You know what I mean? Like today is the only day I have time, you know. And please follow my TikTok. It's Fresh Philly 215. My YouTube, you know, I'm still trying to get the hang of like creating content. So bear with me. It would be nice if you guys can follow my YouTube as well. It's Fresh Philly 215 as well. And follow my Instagram. I am Fresh Philly 215. If you guys want, just comment on my TikTok videos, or when I post this up on my TikTok, that's like my main like social media right now. If you guys comment on my my video, my podcast post on TikTok or whatever, I will, answer a question. If you comment a question, I'll answer it. You know what I mean, on my videos. I want to keep like you got those listeners, those who are listening, to be active with my podcast. You know what I mean? Because without you guys, the listeners and whatnot, I wouldn't be doing this shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hope everyone has a blessed day. I hope everyone gets throughout the week, and be safe out there. Deuces. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to episode 4 of Fresh Talks. It's your host, Fresh Philly. And today's episode is going to just be one topic. And I feel like I should get it off my chest. And whoever's listening, I want to enlighten you guys. You know what I mean? So this is video I saw on TikTok about how this individual hates sneaker culture, how currently where it is, he hates it. He hates everything about it when it comes to like the sneaker events, and how it's, in his eyes, is just bad. You know what I mean? That being said, it's like, dude, one thing he said that didn't sit well with me was how he says that sneaker culture is started with the poor. You know what I mean? In his eyes. And I'm like, I see it, because, you know, me growing up in the like ghetto part of Philadelphia at one point, I never really realized that, because everybody was wearing Payless. Let's be real. You know, at least where I came from, every kid who couldn't afford, you know, a pair of Nikes, a pair of Jordans, a pair of Pumas, a pair of Adidas, or whatever, you wore Payless, Kmart, Walmart, and ones, basically. You know what I mean? Back then, they're like, our parents didn't understand fashion, nor did they understand brands. They just knew, look, this is what we can afford. This is what you get. You get what I'm saying? There was no saying like, yo, I need my child to be fresh. I need my son to be fresh. I need my daughter to be fresh for school. At the end of the day, they worrying about, let's put food on the table. Let's put food in your mouth, in our mouths. You get what I'm saying? They're not caring if you looking good at school. They were caring about if the light bill is going to be on or not. You know what I mean? And he also goes and says, like, if you're not a real sneakerhead, if your parents buy you shoes, you're not a real sneakerhead if you never bought a bad investment type of mentality. I'm like, what? Look, at the end of the day, my parents bought me shoes until I was like 16. I'll be real with you. You know what I mean? I didn't have money. As a teenager, when you're 15, 16, maybe till 18, you don't have a job because you need permits for that. Let's be real. You need if you go and work at a store, you know, you need working permits. You know what I mean? Especially when you're under 18. At least where I'm from. I don't know where this dude is from, but you're going to clown or try to come at people, try to catch some clout about, oh, you're not real sneakerhead because what? Your parents bought you shit? Like, why are you worrying about that? You know what I mean? Like, if the fortunate is fortunate in this community, let them be fortunate. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's like you want to get your own shoe, your own shit. I understand that. But you can't clown the kid for being fortunate. You can't clown this individual for growing up in a wealthy family. I'm being realistic, you know what I mean? And part two to that, what? You like if I know my bill is a rack and I got only a rack and there's a shoe I see that's a rack, I'm going to pay my bills. I'm not going to be irresponsible. You're a dumb fuck, bro. You're dumb as fuck for being irresponsible. You know what I mean? It's different if you just say you have a rack and you buy two shoes that are retailed $150 a pop, so that's $300. So you have $7, you know, and maybe your gas for your car or whatever is like what $60 or whatever. And you narrow down, you budget it. You know what I mean? It's called budgeting, bro. Don't be a dumb fuck. Don't be an idiot. You know what I mean? You probably one of them motherfuckers that want to look fresh, but at the same time can't keep your lights on. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I grew up poor as fuck to where my mom had to, you know, I only buy a Happy Meal and I had to share with my sister. You know what I mean? And as a kid, I didn't realize that. I'll be realistic with you. I didn't understand we were poor. We were less fortunate. She did her best. She always made us feel like we had something. You know what I mean? Because that's what a parent does, and I appreciate her to this day. You feel me? But don't go around talking about, oh, you ain't this, you ain't that, bro. Worry about your ass. You know what I mean? If you want to be on a platform on TikTok, like you want to catch clout, that's for you. But guess what? You're gonna catch backlash, like from me. And granted, I'm nobody, bro. My following ain't shit. You know what I mean? But I feel like I should say something. It's not because it's 2022, everybody want to voice their opinion. Because this sneaker shit, I really care about. You know what I mean? And I'll be damned if someone that's a dumbass like yo ass is gonna sit around and like backlash people who are fortunate, who don't go by your rules. You know what I mean? And like I said, who the fuck is you? You know what I mean? Like you put a little podcast together, not podcast, a little GoPro together, a little fucking camera lighting, making some YouTube videos. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, my guy, don't worry about what someone has on. It's cool and dope to appreciate what they have on, but don't be that individual like, yo, this man probably got some like, let's say for example, some dude walking around got some like bacon Air Maxes, you know what I mean, the newer release, and they beat him up, and like an OG sneakerhead be walking like, yo, he probably don't know what the hell those are, and he just fucking them up. He just, you know, running around and shit in them. Like, bro, at the end of the day, don't worry about someone's pockets. Worry about your pockets. You know what I mean? And it's like how I feel when it comes to the sneaker culture and sneaker community. We should be more enthusiastic with the newcomers. You know what I mean? Because we have the info. Granted, most of my videos on TikTok that I post are me talking my shit. You know what I mean? I throw a couple jabs here and there. Don't get me wrong, I will admit that. But at the end of the day, I do my best to educate whoever watches my videos. I started this because I started TikTok because there was this dude that was just cringy, super cringy with his videos, right? And I showed my wife, and she was like, why don't you make your own? You know what I mean? Why don't you you do your own videos to put some light into how you feel. I was like, granted, great. Fuck it, YOLO. You know what I mean? And she was my biggest supporter. She always support me every day to this day. She was like, hey, did you make new content? This, that, and the third. Granted, she don't know shit about sneakers. She just knows that I love sneakers. You know what I mean? Because I'm there. We sit on the couch. I'm looking at like, you know, releases and shit. And I show her. And she's like, you like those? Da da da. I show her. She tries to be in my hobby, in this lifestyle that I love. You know what I mean? When it comes to sneakers. That being said, it's empowerment. You know what I mean? She sees it something I enjoy. She empowers me. You know what I mean? Hey, she even offered to buy me this Yeti mic I'm using right here. I was like, no, honey, I got it. And it's like $80 to $100. And in today's situation with like gas and everything, like I was gonna take it. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, it's okay. Like, you know, I'm the one gonna be using it. It's a partnership thing. You know what I mean? So I'll pay for it. It's not like you're going to use it too. You know what I mean? That being said, I'm getting off topic a little bit. But back to the main topic. Yeah, man. Like, sneaker culture. There's no rich, middleman, and poor. You know what I mean? When you buy the shoes, yes. But when it comes to acceptance, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, how you look, like at the end of the day, everyone in the sneaker community has the same objective, okay, or objectives, and that's to buy the shoe that you want. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I was going, like recently, yesterday to be precise, I went to the store. I believe it's called Sneaker Room. You know what I mean? In Jersey City. Shout outs to them. Excuse me. They were very nice to me. You know what I mean? I walked in because I saw a pair of color of the month Air Forces. You know, I wanted the blue pair. You know, it was blue, white, and gum sole bottom. I saw them sitting in the window, but they only have a size 5. It's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna walk around and see what else you got. Maybe you got something that I might want. Find out they had dirty denim Air Max 1s in behind the counter. I was like, yo, do you have a size 9.5? Because that's my size. They said yes. All right, pull them out. Let me get them. Check them out. I want them. You know what I mean? Because I fuck with Air Maxes. Then I saw these Air Max gray, white, and yellow. Only comes in women's. It's like, yo, do you have a size 11? They got them. Cool. Let me check them out. Make sure quality control is good on both shoes. And then cash me out. Well, I cashed them out. You know what I mean? We sat there for 15 to 20 minutes about shoes. Granted, I am a customer, so they want to make me feel welcome. You know what I mean? But their tone from professionalism to natural of how they are as a person kicked in when we talked about shoes. I was like, yo, you can tell that, you know, in a way, what you want to call it is switching coats. You know what I'm saying? Because now they could be themselves, you know? Because, you know, I came in looking normal. I talk normal. But then I ain't gonna lie, I switched coats too, because I was talking the way I usually talk, like how I am right now. I don't talk professional like that. You know what I mean? We chopped it up for 20 minutes, man. And you can see with both of those guys, with me talking, so that's 3 folks talking right there, you know, in the store about shoes. Granted, we asked for each other's names. We dapped each other up. But granted, I don't remember the dude's names. Like, I'm bad with names. All right. I'm bad with names. And like we were talking about how it's hard to get sneakers nowadays, especially if, you know, for someone like me, we gotta go against bots. You know, they have a Nike account. They got an account. They're good, but they rather. I have a feeling they probably rather sell it to the consumers because they gotta make their money. You know what I mean? They gotta pay their bills too. That being said, right? The sneaker community is always welcoming. You know what I mean? Granted that like the older generation might see the newer generation a certain way. Like I see me personally, I see the new generation a certain way, but that's to them. I'm gonna crack my jokes. I'm gonna throw in my couple jabs, but I'm not gonna hate on them. You know what I mean? Like I don't have natural hate. You know what I mean? I have like, yo, if you know you're doing this, don't get upset if you're gonna get some backlash. You know what I mean? Don't get upset about that because you should know what you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean? Like people wearing reps, just know you're gonna get clowned on by at least 80% of the sneaker community. Don't get upset with that. Don't get upset with that. So moving forward, back to the main topic. You should, this guy that I saw on TikTok, because I'm not gonna throw out his name because I don't want to go through that route. If he hears us, he hears us. If he don't, he don't. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I made a video about it. I'm probably gonna post it up soon on TikTok. But you should be more welcoming to anyone that decides to be in the sneaker game. You know what I'm saying? You should not downplay anyone. You should not belittle anyone. You know what I mean? Like, imagine this, right? I'm 30 years old. So what if a homie or my mom that knows that I love this shit, or my pops or my wife or whatever, puts money together, right? Their hard-earned money to buy me a pair of shoes. That doesn't make me a sneakerhead. Like, what? And I seen his comments talking about, oh, grind for it. Tell a 12-year-old to fucking grind for that shit when they still trying to learn mathematics. Are you kidding me, bro? You know how stupid you are right now? You're a fucking dumbass. You know what I mean? And you want to talk about, in like, back to the other subject, you want to talk about basically irresponsible spending. Like you shouldn't even be promoting that, bro. You should be teaching people like, yo, learn how to budget. Granted, I could buy a shoe every single damn day. I could buy a shoe every single damn week. But here's the thing. That shit gonna add up. And guess what? I don't got food. I don't got money to put food in my family's stomach. I don't got money to pay the gas bill. I don't got money to pay the light bill. I don't got money to pay what else? His education. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you doing it as clout chasing, or you want to do it as a comic skit, but there was no jokes in there, bro. Don't go that route saying, oh, it was a joke, this, that, and the third. No, it wasn't. You were serious about it because you dead ass was about to look like you about to cry, bro. And you got some support in your comments. You got some negative comments in your comments. But it's called being realistic. You know what I mean? It's like, I take things literally as a person. You know what I mean? If you tell me you're going to be here at 5, I expect you to be here no later than 5. And that's just how I am as an individual. You know what I mean? But when I see you clowning people on someone that doesn't have a voice, probably, that doesn't understand the concept of what the sneaker game really is or what it can be at the moment, and you're gonna clown on the weak, basically. Like, nah, bro, don't do that. You know, like I said, you should be empowering these people. You should show these people the correct way, not backlashing them and throwing them to the fucking wolves, not just closing the door on their face when they need help. You know what I mean? This is a community. Get it? Keyword, community, where everyone should be helping each other. You know what I mean? Like my homies, if they see, oh, what are those? I tell them what they are. You know what I mean? I explain to them, oh, this is how much they go for if you want them. You know what I mean? I don't gatekeep because that's not me. Granted, of course, I will. Back then, I was like, yo, I got these, you don't. But you acting like a teenager trying to gossip in high school right now, my guy. You know what I mean? Grow a pair. You know what I mean? Straighten your back and don't be that individual. You know what I mean? Because people that act like how the energy you're giving off right now are the reason why sneaker culture and community will go down. You know what I mean? Granted, resellers and bots are, I would say, 70% are ruining the market. You know, but it's give and take. It's give and take. It's supply and demand. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I lose out on a pair, let's say, what is it, reverse mochas? You feel me? Granted, I was gonna keep them. I was gonna resell them for that check. I was gonna resell it for that bag, but I didn't get a pair because why? I lost. Own up to it. Move on. Walk forward. Like don't sit around and cry. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what is there to cry about? You didn't spend no money. You didn't get lost with like a shipping company or whatever. You're good. You're good. Be grateful. You know what I mean? Be grateful. Because at the end of the day, in today's world, you realize a couple years ago, shit wasn't going good for nobody. And I hope everyone here is getting back on their feet, moving forward, prosperity, all that shit, all that good shit. But when it comes to people talking down on people, when it comes to the sneaker game, that's a no-no. You know what I mean? That's a no-no. That being said, right, another thing that I wanted to show y'all a little info about, or shine some light on, is, if you under 18 and you in school and your parents buying you shoes, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Because at the end of the day, you're a minor, dude. Don't hear all these grown ass men or women talking down on you like that. You know what I mean? Just because most likely you getting A's, right? You getting good grades and your parents buying you shit that you want. That's how it works. Like, let's be real. That's how it works. You know what I mean? And make sure if you have bills that you got to pay those first before you buy a pair of fresh checks. You know what I'm saying? Pay your bills first before you buy a fresh pair of J's, Adidas, Jordans, or whatever. You know what I mean? Just pay your shit first. Well, that's my rant for today. This is episode 4. You can follow me on TikTok, Fresh Philly 215 on TikTok, and on my Instagram is I am Fresh Philly 215 on Instagram. Yeah, I hope everyone has a safe day. I hope everyone has a blessed day. So, that being said, have a nice day, everybody. Deuces.